When I talk about the population of Teotihuacan, the best way of estimating the population is by looking at the residential structures. And there were probably around 2,300 of these residential compounds, each one of which on the average had 3 or 4 or 5 separate apartments within it. So if you start thinking that each one of those apartments probably had a family that may have consisted of the parents, some children, and probably a few other relatives, maybe some grandparents, a few people like that. So maybe there were 5 or 10 people per apartment. And if you estimate how many apartments were in the whole city, then you can use that as a way of very roughly estimating what the population would have been. If you assume that they were all occupied at the same time, you get maybe around 100,000. And they were certainly mostly occupied most of the time, but it could have been, if some of them were not fully occupied, it could have been somewhat less. But that's the reason I have this very, very ballpark estimate of somewhere around 80 to 100,000. It's mainly based on the residential architecture.